Okay, here we have Pearl. Maybe I'll show her some commands. So we have our treats that we're working with here. It's not important what kind of treats you work with, other than you want something that they actually like. So we have some nice treats that are made with meat. You want what we call a high value treat, which means they value it highly. A biscuit, a dry cracker type treat would be a low value treat, no matter how expensive it is. The dogs like chicken, steak, cheese, something with meat. Those are the best kind of treats to work with a dog. Pearl, you'll notice, is not a high drive kind of a dog. She's not highly food motivated. She does like treats, but if you skipped a meal, she's going to be more inclined to work more enthusiastically. But you just got to realize this is her personality. She does no sit, she does no down. And we don't give them the treat until they actually do the motion that we want them to. So right now, it's a palm down, point to the ground, sort of lure her nose to the ground and say the word sit, or say the word down, and she'll go down. And just be patient. The worst thing you can do in dog training is saying things like sit, 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 down, down, down. They just loses all value. You do not need to hear the word 20 more times in order to get it. They just need to be sort of waited out and then rewarded once they do the right thing, and then they'll become faster and faster at how they perform the trick.
Girl.
She does have a pretty decent focus, looking for you for what to do next. The place command you can take a bed or a mat, really anything. We like to use a little cot to help them really be, precise in that they are fully on a thing. And what we do is we simply guide them to it, point to it. Sometimes you got to help them out, especially in the early days or with a new handler. Guide them onto it. We say the word place. And then once they're actually on it, we say yes. And we mark that good behavior and we reward it with a treat. So now she knows, okay, this must be what place means.
Okay.
And then okay is the release word.
Good job.
And then we can do this little repetition a few times. If you try doing it 30 times, she's going to lose interest. So dogs, especially at a young age, hit a saturation point where they're not going to, keep on wanting to work for you. But right now, she's still doing good. We've been practicing with her now for a few minutes, but you want all 4 paws on there, not quite on there yet, so we don't give her the treat yet, and then boom. And we want her to relax. Yeah, she looks pretty relaxed.
There you go. Good girl.
She's
That's a
about
good
to get up.
place. That's a good place. Good job.
So we should be able to step away just a bit, go wide angle. We will correct her if she tries to hop off of here, but you can give her some rewards in between. And we don't want to push it too hard. And her body language says, I'm thinking about getting up, so we kind of get in her space a little bit. There we go. And then the okay is the release word. The key with the place command, and it's a great tool to have in your tool belt of things for the dog to know, to practice consistently when there's no distractions. Then you add a little bit of distractions, and the key is correcting her and telling her no and putting her back in the place when, say, a ball goes rolling by or a dog goes walking by or a person gets her excited, and to always end on a successful accomplishment of this task. And then she'll be able to hold it even with distractions if you practice. But the key is right here, small steps with a leash on in your living room or wherever, and then it can translate to many other places quite nicely if you just keep practicing. So there was a good example of a little correction, and you don't need to do any crazy punishment for a correction. It's just a little pushing her back in and then waiting her out. And there's that release word okay. We like to say okay before they jump off that thing, but if they do break that command, just tell them no sternly and put them right back in that place. Have a successful ending to the little training session. And just a few minutes a day is really all you need to do. You don't need to practice for an hour at a time. They'll lose all kinds of attention after that sort of a span. But you can practice on other things. So let's see, we'll get her to come over here and do like a sit maybe again. We'll show the hand signal exactly. Sort of like luring their nose up in the air, get their attention. Oh, yeah. She's just a little distracted, I can see. Give it a moment. There
Yes,
we go.
there you go.
She does tend to be a little slower like this, but she's also been working now, doing some training for probably the past 10, 15 minutes. So she's about to hit the saturation point, which is they're just highly distracted. They're just not want to be here. And that's okay. At a dog this age, like, just come back later. Try it again tomorrow. Don't, push through the saturation and think that they're just going to eventually get it. You're just going to get frustrated. Correcting things like chewing on a plant is something this is why we recommend in a house, keep them on a leash or in the kennel or outside to go potty, at least for the first few days, to help establish some rules, boundaries, and limitations. But you keep a leash on them, you can tug them away from chewing on something they shouldn't. You're going to catch them in the act if they try to go potty, and you can get outside quickly. Highly, highly advise doing tethering at least the first few days. Even the first week or two would not be wrong at all. But of course, most people want to let their dog have a lot of freedom in their home. The key is to start out with the least amount of freedom possible and slowly give them more freedom every day that they earn that freedom. She's going to be a great dog, though. I mean, she's just a really well-mannered girl. I mean, she's kind of an old soul, I say. But, she's going to be really nice, very friendly, not super overwhelming, and that's what we like about her. She's just a good dog. She acts like a dog that's much older, even though she's just a few months here.
Very sweet. Very sweet.